I would also like to remind the council that we need to waive the written reading of the resolution. This resolution will only require one reading. So with that, I will yield the floor back to the chair, and we can resume at the meeting. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So we left off when Mr. Garcia was giving his comments. He was at 1 minute and 30 seconds. So he will continue with 1 minute and 30 seconds. Mr. Garcia, your time starts now.
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Mayor, and thank you guys so much for being patient. Wow. Okay. Back to our agenda. So the actual resolution itself, declaring safe zones throughout the city of Carey, allows us in the city of Carey to partner up with nonprofit organizations such as Chirla, such as MALDEF, Hermandad Mexicana, those 501c3s that have devoted and have a mission to help those who are here undocumented with paperwork, with legal status, and things of that route. So that is what this resolution actually allows us to do for the city of Carey, to have that partnership. Also, what it allows us to do is to promote and declare certain areas throughout Carey. 2 churches already have signed on. They said, yep, sign us up. We'll partner up with Carey and any nonprofit that wants to come into our church, train our staff. Picture this scenario. You are an undocumented immigrant, and there's a lot of uncertainty right now. There's a lot of fear. And if you're being followed...
You guys are just starting to watch again. Jack Guerrero left before he could vote for Sanctuary City so that he wouldn't have to abstain and prove everybody else right.
So you want to go somewhere. So cards help, but I think we could do a little bit more. There's a lot of creativity that we can do, and we would love to hear feedback. But what it allows someone who is in that situation
you guys are just watching,
to go
Jack
somewhere
Guerrero
physically,
left so that he wouldn't have to abstain
go to the church on Clara Street, go
from
to City
voting
Hall,
for
and we'll
Sanctuary
declare
Cities.
City Hall, that safe zone as
Gone.
well, where you can go and staff will be trained through these 501c3s when it comes to any of those situations.
Thank you, Mr. Garcia. Your time's up.
So that's merely what this resolution does, and I hope we can count on your support, colleagues.
Thank you very much. Vice Mayor Hernandez.
Great, thank you. Of course, this is a no-brainer. You know, being a son of immigrants myself, and knowing the fear that my parents had to go through themselves of possibly getting deported, and knowing their struggle and their hard work and dedication just to provide us a much better opportunity that they had. This is a no-brainer. I think you know, the fact that we're allowed to now open city property doors in order to, you know, provide sanctuary to those who feel feared and terrorized by our own government is very unfortunate, and I am very proud to stand here today along with my colleagues in support of this resolution. Of course, like always, and like I mentioned before, actions speak louder than words. Who's absent today? Take a note.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Hernandez.
It's quiet now.
As for me, I'm in full support of this. I never thought that I would live through some type of a lifetime of racism or, bigotry, but we are now. And in my position, I feel like I have to do something and stand up for those that cannot speak, right? So right now, that's what we're doing, and we're staying strong with those that cannot speak their mind or cannot vote. And I tell my colleagues at my work, my family, and they told me that before it used to be worse. It used to be that in the 80s, bus used to show up and start just picking people from the street and put them in the bus to deport. How is that living? How is that a lifestyle of living? We come here for a better opportunity to live the dream. All of us know. So I think we got to continue living that dream. Not all of us are bad. Not all of us that live here with citizenship are good either. So, there are both sides to each side. I'm in full support of this. I'm actually going to rescind my motion to approve this because we need to approve the passing of the ordinance and resolution first before we approve this item. So I second the motion. I'm going to rescind it so we could go ahead and make a motion to approve the waiver of the full reading of the ordinance and resolution, which is item 7.
Actually, just for clarification, it is only a resolution, so it only
Oh,
requires
so
one.
I don't have to do that?
Yeah.
Oh, even better. So then I don't rescind my second motion. So, Clerk, can we please have roll call?
Yes. Councilmember Guerrero, absent. Councilmember Garcia,
Absolutely, yes.
Councilmember Markovich,
Of course, yes.
Vice Mayor Hernandez,
Unequivocally, yes.
Mayor Sanchez.
Yes.
Woo!
regular item, city manager report information only, item 7.
Can I go home now?
It's been a long, long night.
Oh,
but,
here you
just
go.
a couple of
Bye.
things for you. Over the last couple of years,
Girl,
we
bye.
have really
Bye,
worked hard to
Felicias.
make Cudahy a much safer
We are still a
community.
sanctuary city.
Thanks
They
to
couldn't
the
bully us
sheriff's
out of
department
it,
for really
so now they're
stepping up over the
leaving
last couple of years
because they don't
to
care about what
I'm
actually
sorry,
happens
I'm
in
sorry,
our
Jose.
city. They only care about.
Ms. Markovich,
What?
can you please keep your comments to yourself?
Sure.
I cannot hear our city manager. Thank you, Jose. Go ahead.
So, a lot of resources have been expended over the last couple of years.
So they're
And
leaving
one of
now
the things
because
that
they
we
don't
had
care
to
about
do
any of the
about
other
3
business
years
in
ago,
Cudahy,
there
just
was
that we're a
when I
sanctuary
first started
city.
here,
So they're leaving because they couldn't bully us into
5% reduction
not
to
being a
public
sanctuary
safety.
city.
And for those of you
So
that don't know what
bye.
minimum deployment is, it's the minimum amount of deputies needed to patrol your city safely. So some people figured that, having the educational background that they did, that you could do a 5% cut to public safety at that time, which entailed the city not having coverage for a while, for a few hours, because nothing really happened during those hours. In the process, it made the city unsafe for those few hours. It also made it difficult for the community to have proper policing that it needed. We brought this to the attention of the city council. City council supported it and restored that. The following year, the city council did one full deputy, and which cost us about $250,000 to do that ongoing, with the understanding that we would undertake the neighborhood watch program. That program has
Can I
been
go
very
record them?
successful.
Should I go record
Through
them?
those efforts and through the efforts of the residents
That's like the,
as
I'm
well
gonna
as our
start a fight. I
deputies,
feel.
we have been able to make the list of in the top 100 safest cities in California. So I think that's really important, and it's not
Yes,
something that
Sandy.
should be taken lightly. But as was said previously,
That's almost
we
quite
need
a
the
bit this
community's
year,
help
but
to continue
Sandy.
this and to continue to make it happen. We don't want to make
Shout out to my JWoww Sandy. Love you, girl. Watching from headquarters.
If we
You
don't have
know.
another alternative, and that's what this measure was really designed, was to give you as a community, treat you as the educated community that you are, and you're smart enough to tell when something works and when something doesn't. And we knew that within 5 years, you would know the difference, and that we would prove that to you. We also, I also from the beginning of this effort, and when I'm first doing as well. So when I hear a lot of better,
Sorry, Mr. Sergeant of Arms, can you please calm that gentleman down?
So,
Bye.
my background, and I was there handed as well, and I was 7, and I had to go to school, because if I didn't go to school, then
My grandparents didn't cross the border crossed them.
Because Mexicans let white people think more, but in reality,
try to get back was I first came on board.
We're just not as ignorant as they are loud. That's why we're more respectful than that.
build that wall.
Everybody wave. Bye. Bye, Arthur. Bye, all of your weird friends. Bye. They're all leaving because they don't care about Cudahy. They only care about their agendas, and they didn't scare us away this time. So bye. Pa fuera. Isn't that what he always says? Pa fuera. Nope, Jack left. He didn't want to vote, and so he took all of his trashy friends with him. Bye-bye.
Is that everybody? Arthur, is that everybody?
Bye. You know why they're leaving, right? Because they don't care about Cudahy issues. They only care about their agenda. And they couldn't bully us, so they don't want to stay for the rest of the meeting. No, that's all. Bye. Didn't work this time. Bye, guys. See you next time. We'll be back again. Okay, let's go figure out what's going on with this meeting now.
Mr. Mayor, I make a motion to approve items 10A through 10D.
Consent?
There's been a motion and a second. So roll call.
Councilmember Guerrero.
I'll stay inside because it sounds like they're
Councilmember
protesting
Garcia?
outside, and I don't want to get caught up in
Councilmember
that.
Markovich.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Hernandez.
Yes.
Mayor Sanchez.
Yes. Item passes.
This is
Moving
the
on
first time I think that the
11A,
council has
public
been
hearing.
able to complete
City
a
clerk.
meeting in a long time. They usually get disrupted by these people, but more Cudahy residents showed up and they left along with their fearless leader, Jack Guerrero,
This item is a
the
public
coward.
hearing. Let me get a hot mic here. It's a public hearing and consideration
So if
of
you guys can
approval
tell,
of
it's
an
super
interim
quiet
ordinance
now.
extending the temporary moratorium on non-medical commercial marijuana activities established
Alright,
under
guys.
an emergency ordinance number 667 for a period of 22 months.
So
and
this is
15
what it
days
looks
in
like
accordance with the
when
Adult Use of Marijuana Act,
adults
Prop
stay and do
64,
their
Government
job
Code Section
and don't get
6585A.
disrupted. This is what a council
Just
meeting
very
should sound like.
briefly,
Respectful.
before we open for public hearing,
People still
I'll note that on
talking,
January
but just at a
23rd,
lower
the council
level.
approved a temporary ban on non-medical
So,
marijuana businesses.
Now the
That
council
45-day
is voting
temporary ban
on
is
a
set to
temporary ban on
expire
marijuana
March
since
9th.
Prop 64
Approval of
passed.
this extension moratorium
Just so that they can put
would
more
extend the
regulations
ban
on
through
before they
January
start giving
24th,
out licenses in 2018.
or
If
until
you guys didn't know, Cudahy is only
permanent
1 square
land use
mile and
business
has
regulations are
4
adopted by the
elementary/middle schools in our
And at this
1
point,
mile radius.
I don't welcome questions,
So
or
even
you
though
can
it's
feel
the
free to
law,
open
they
for
just want to
public
make sure that they put
So this
better
item's under public
regulations on
hearing,
it
so I'm
so
going to go
not
ahead
just
and open
anybody
it for public
can
hearing.
sell
If you have
whatever
any
they want.
questions,
We just want to keep our
concerns,
kids safe.
Again, it would just be like the items that you just commented earlier. You can only ask questions or comments on this specific item and the specific item only, which
Yes,
is the
Tori, he definitely is a
prohibition or
coward.
Can you repeat
Fearless
the
leader,
ordinance, Mr.
and my voice
Attorney?
probably didn't sound like it, but I swear there was quotes
Yeah, can
around
you
it.
clarify what the moratorium is?
Yeah, so under Prop 64, it permits cities to allow non-medical marijuana businesses when the state starts issuing licenses in 2018. There have been indications that the state may start issuing temporary licenses as soon as this year.
If you're
So,
one of my family
in
members
abundance
who's
of
watching
caution,
right now, this is
this
what I
would,
deal with every other
prohibit all
Monday. I'm so
temporary,
sorry.
would prohibit all
I
non-medical marijuana
swear
businesses.
I'm on my
while the
best
council
behavior, but it's
considers,
really hard when somebody calls
permanent
me
ordinances, land use,
a
and
fat
business
ass wetback. So that's
ordinances,
pretty much how this
and,
whole thing
you know,
started.
assesses their options, their permanent options.
But yeah, I'm
So this would
sorry.
put
I
all
love
things in
you.
place
This
so
is
we
just
don't
my
get any
life now.
surprises, which would be the scenario if we did nothing and the state were
hope I
to
made you
start
proud,
issuing
Mom.
licenses. They don't
I
have
tried to
check
keep my
with
mouth
us,
shut as much as I
on Prop
could.
64. So this would protect us to make sure that we don't have any unauthorized businesses opening in the city.
Okay. So with that, I'm going to open it up for public comment. The way this worked, if you would like to comment on it, just please step to the podium and go ahead and speak. You'll have, I believe it's 2 minutes. So 2 minutes to comment. So at this time, public comment is now open. Please feel free to come up and have any comments. Please feel free. If I don't see any, then I'm going to go ahead and close public comment, and we're going to go ahead and move on with our vote. Seeing none, no comments.
Mr. Mayor, if I may.
Go ahead.
Just as being an emergency ordinance, we don't have 5 members here, so we will require 4 votes for approval.
Okay.
Thank you.
So is there any appetite for comments on this item? Seeing none, I'm going to...
I would just like to provide some brief clarification. I see new faces there, and just for clarification, because our colleague that just left has been misleading the community about what this actually is. A moratorium means a ban. So we're banning it. We're kicking it down we're kicking the can down the road because of what happened this past November. Remember Proposition 64? Yes. Proposition 64 allows for indoor cultivation. So we've always had a ban on medical marijuana dispensaries.
Yes, Tori, they
Ban.
called me that. A bunch of people on
with this
YouTube,
proposition, it
and
makes us out of
I have
compliance
a bunch
with that
of
because they
comments
allow
and a
indoor
poster that I'll
cultivation.
post a picture on
So we're looking
Facebook
at
later
studies to
so that
see
you
how
can
we're going to
see.
zone this
They
properly.
said I had
But
900
that's what
million
this is.
illegal
This
family
isn't
members,
allowing
that I'm on
dispensaries
welfare,
and
that I probably have 2 or 3 jobs that I'm stealing from an
clarification. Does that
American,
make sense?
that they wanted to deport me and my husband
So with that,
back to Mexico,
is there any
that
other
they were
additional
gonna shoot
comments
us through
or
a
questions
cannon
for this
back to
item?
Mexico.
Seeing none, I'm going to go ahead and close public comment. Public comment is now closed. Is there any questions from my colleagues? Seeing none, I'll go ahead and open it for a motion to approve this item.
I make a motion.
Second.
A motion and a second. City Clerk, can we please have roll call?
Yes. Councilmember Guerrero, absent. Councilmember
Absent.
Garcia,
Yes.
Councilmember Markovich,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Hernandez,
Yes.
Mayor Sanchez.
Yes. Item passes. Seeing that we already discussed 12A, we're moving on to City Council discussion. Seeing that there isn't any, can I get a motion to adjourn the meeting?
Yay.
There's been a motion. I second that.
All right,
So this meeting is
guys.
now adjourned.
I'm out.
9:36.
Love you. Thanks for watching.